Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mario Kart Monday. Wait, why do I keep doing that? Every time. Hopefully we'll get some people playing with us today. Who aren't random strangers, I mean. Off to a great start. Fantastic. Try that again. It's not promising. Shane Bra. I'm expecting it to kick me out at any second now. Is it gonna let me in? Nope. Big surprise. Is anyone online? Not really. Third time's the charm. Well, that was faster. Fingers crossed. Havoc. Lieutenant Havoc? If he was like a hipster, maybe? Okay. Yeah, they're only lap 2. Well, just gonna wait and see. Hi, Red Arrow. How are you doing? Want to play some Mario Kart with me? I don't remember. Do you have a Switch? And at this game? Right now I'm just waiting to get into the next match. It's very exciting. Man, feel bad for Mitch. Oh man, he got hit like 3 times in a row. I'm alright. Got home from work a few hours ago. Clark and I made a baked chicken for dinner. It was pretty good. You don't have a Switch? Well, if you ever get one and you want to play Mario Kart, then you know where to find me. Why are people picking Baby Park? It's like the worst course.
It's my favorite course.
Well, then you're the worst.
No.
Clark is here, as you may be able to tell.
I'm making video games.
He's making video games. It always cracks me up whenever the Miis have sort of the half-lidded eyes, because sometimes, like, that guy with the glasses, he just kind of looks high, but sometimes, depending on their other facial features, they look, like, really smug or something. Like, Alan looks very, like, oh, how droll. Hey Greta, you ready to play some Mario Kart? Aw, get an item. Boo. Ah, again. Ah! Rude. Ah, break. That's what I get for trying shortcuts that I'm not used to. Man, I am not off to a good start. I really ought to practice this game like in between Mario Kart Monday so that I can get more practice. But there are just so many other things to do. It's like the same dilemma Clark and I have with Splatoon. Like, we don't really play Splatoon except on Splatterday Night Live.
I played Splatoon today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Well, I stand corrected. I take it back. I don't play Splatoon except for Splatterday Night Live. What's your excuse? Oh, shit. Why do I keep missing that turn? Yes, only video games. But how will I become a productive member of society? That does sound lame. You're right. Bullet bill, please. That is not a bullet bill. Crap. Oh, hey. Beat that one dude at the last second. Hooray! Not last?
Yeah.
Off to a great start today. Thank you. Thank you for that applause. Ah, I hate all of these courses. Boo. Should probably shut the door. We had the porch door open because it was nice and cool out for finally. But now they're making noises. But I don't know if the mic's picking it up or not. After this match, I'll probably close it. Yeah, bet you're excited, Greta. Little conk. Oh, are you gonna close it for me? I was gonna do it.
You gotta stream the video. You gotta get on the Twitch, make that money.
Yeah, I gotta make that non-existent Twitch money.
You gotta have a better idea. Maybe today's the day.
Today is the day where we'll become famous because people will see me sucking at Mario Kart and think, ha, that's funny.
People will see you sucking in Mario Kart and say, your struggles compel me. I identify with your journey.
Yeah. Root for the underdog.
Exactly.
Uh-oh. Here. Yeah, got you, Greta.
Chelsea, do we have plans on Sunday?
Not that I'm aware of. Ah!
Okay. I think my cousin's about to invite us to do a plan.
Oh. Okay. What kind of thing?
I don't know. We just have to, we have time on something.
What cousin?
My cousin, like, you know I have like 30 of them, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's one I know of.
Which of my cousins?
I don't know.
Well, it's definitely not one of my redneck Donald Trump cousins.
Oh, okay.
So,
Does your cousin live near here or is planning on visiting or something?
I'm not 100% sure. They just texted me and were like, I'm officially moving down there.
Oh, cool.
So I assume that maybe they're officially moving down there on Sunday.
Oh, hey, I got second place. I wasn't even really paying attention that time. Dude, it's the strategy, I guess. Yeah, I know you love Rainbow Road, Greta. You monster.
Sickening to my core.
Yeah, the last match was a warm-up. This was the real first match of today. Shh. I'm hoping Rogue One might come join.
Oh,
I
yeah.
sent him a friend request on the Switch. Oh hey, Iween. I probably should have texted him to let him know that I'm playing now, but
You have his number, right?
yeah.
Okay.
We're friends IRL. Ah. Got too close to that banana. How did I suddenly get into 10th place? In like 2 seconds.
Oh my.
I meant to hit her when I was right behind her. But then I suddenly was in front of her. Oh, that was close. That was not a good strategy of when to use that mushroom. Whoops. I can't see. Ugh. Well, I avoided. Oh, never mind. I was about to say by running into those walls I avoided that fireball, but then I did not. Fourth is alright. Maybe I'll text him real quick. See if he's available to play. Wow. Almost made a pattern. I am the odd one out. Greta wants to talk anime to throw me off. I see your strategy. I'm not falling for it. Not unless you give me a very strong...
Greta, you're really good at this game. Do you really need to throw
Yeah.
Chelsea off by talking about, like,
You really don't.
a thing she likes?
I don't think you need any sort of handicap, Greta. Ah! Naturally, as soon as I use that. Oop, shit. That was a bad miss. Ah! 2 stars. Uh-oh. Fill bill, please. Aw. Boo.
Boo. Sorry, I'm over here now. I was over there being productive, but now I'm having to talk to family.
Rogue One's gonna join us in about 10 minutes. Oh no!
Oh god.
No, Greta, I genuinely thought that you were trying to get me. I don't trust you. Look at you, there, smug with your crown. Look at that face. It's too adorable to be real. Oh, sure. Start me talking about Full Metal Alchemist. You know it's my favorite, but I'm glad you like it. It is really good. It's the best.
Can you talk about Boku no Pico?
The only thing I know about Boku no Pico is that it's like an infamous hentai.
It's not. Is it really a hentai?
Isn't it? I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up.
Oh boy. Did not need that speed boost. Yeah. Ah, frig. What?
This maybe also matches with Boku no Pico.
And?
I don't know. It seems maybe like it should be against the law.
That was not good. Why would you give me a gold mushroom on frickin' Rainbow Road? Game. Not helpful.
Should I read the synopsis aloud?
I think you have to. I think you're like legally obligated. Oops. Legally obligated at this point. Especially since you just distracted me. I'm blaming that one on you.
It's working. See, you can't even not think about animes you think is terrible.
Yeah. See what you did, Greta. Ah.
Alright. Genres: action, adventure, comedy, drama, psychological, romance, slice of life, and sports. Are you sure? Alright. Boku no Pico, or in English, My Pico, is a Japanese series of adult Shotokan anime.
Oh.
Oh.
boy.
Alright. Produced by Natural High. This series consists of 3 episodes, as well as a one-shot manga chapter, an upcoming computer game, and a video compilation of songs.
Why?
The producer has described it as the world's first Shotokan anime. Although this series...
The first one?
I don't know, man!
How-
I mean, like,
how
doesn't
old is
that
it?
mean...
I didn't know how old it was.
Like...
For some reason, I thought it was like more recent because people were talking about it.
Isn't like Shotokan like a pedophile thing?
Yeah, it's like, ugh. Shotokan is gross.
Also be categorized as an otokonoko anime. Because of the high cost of producing anime, the characters and contents were intensively product tested before production began. 4 single episode original video animations or OVAs have been released in the Boku no Pico series.
Why?
Each episode is directed by Katsuyoshi Yataba and produced by Natural High. The first was released to DVD by Soft On Demand on September 7th of 2006. The second followed on April 16th, 2007. The third episode was released on October 9th, 2008. A box set containing the first 2 episodes and the soundtrack CD was released by Soft On Demand on April 19th, 2007.
I wonder what the laws are for child pornography in Japan. Because, like, Shotokan is unfortunately a thing.
Man, you know... Oh, this has a... Okay, this is doing the synopsis behind this, right?
Oh. No.
Whoa, jeez. Wow. Wow.
I don't want to know. Ah!
Jesus Christ.
Greta apparently watched the first 10 minutes of it out of curiosity and would not recommend. I would hope not. Yeah. I saw it, but could not get out of the way in time. Oops. Ah, crap.
Well, guess that's what that is. Well, I could have done without that. I'm gonna
the episode synopsis because we're trying to keep our stream of a certain quality. I'm not saying of high quality, but
High enough.
reason devoid of descriptions of fucking little boys. Well, I guess they don't actually fuck, but does it matter at this point?
Yeah. What Link says. Same Link. Anime was a mistake.
Sure was.
Anime was not a mistake. They intentionally wanted to make a... Oh. How else will we get classics like SpongeBob SquarePants? Yeah, you got a point. Too fast. Boo. Oop. What? Link! Left! Oh. Never seen that happen before. I was robbed. Oop. So many bullet bills. Should not have used that then. That was a mistake. Ah, frick. Well, that was a bad time.
I can't believe Hamtaro is considered one of the worst animes ever.
Oh man, I watched Hamtaro when I was younger.
I did too.
I was little.
I was just
I didn't-
a boy.
It was one of those where you didn't really think of it as an anime because you didn't know any better. Just like Sailor Moon. And Dragon Ball.
I knew Dragon Ball was an anime. Hamtaro was funny because, like, the humans had very frightening eyes. Like, if someone took anime eyes and cranked them up to 11.
Avatar is an anime,
It's my favorite anime.
but it might as well be. F-Zero. Oh, so many green shells.
We should let's play the Hamtaro video.
There's a Hamtaro video game.
Hell yeah, there is.
Okay, I'm in first.
We should let's play it.
We'll put it on our Patreon.
I'm putting it on our next thing we're gonna stream. I'm putting it on. Turn this shit off. Let's play Hamtaro. Baby. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I was mistaken. It turns out there are several Hamtaro video games.
Ah. Rude. Ah. So rude. I was doing so good for like an entire lap.
Dang, I feel like you're playing Mario Kart, huh? Which do you think sounds better, Chelsea? Hamtaro Ham Hams Unite? Or Ham Ham Heartbreak? Or Hamtaro Wake Up Snoozer?
Definitely Ham Ham Heartbreak.
Hamtaro Rainbow Rescue? The Ham Ham games?
How many are there?
A lot of them.
What even are they?
They're video games
But,
about
like-
Hamtaro.
Are they like RPGs or click point and click?
Yo, dude, I didn't read that much.
Puzzles?
I'm just reading the titles. I'm not reading what they're about. Okay, I'll get back to you in just 1 second. Okay, so Ham Hams Unite. That's an adventure game. Hamtaro Ham Ham Heartbreak. That's an adventure game. Wake Up Snoozer is edutainment.
I mean,
Rainbow Rescue? That's an adventure game.
Rescue rainbows.
The Ham Ham games? That's a sports game, baby.
Oh. What do you play? Is it like you're in little hamster balls?
I don't know, probably play soccer or something. Little Hamster's Big Adventure
Hamster song.
for the
Oh,
for the DS.
Whoops.
That's a puzzle game.
Hmm.
That's it. There's oh, it's also out for the iOS. And then there's one that was never released in America called Hamtaro.
Daigyakuten Hamtaro.
No, Totoko Hantaro, Nazo Nazo, Umo Noe, no, Du.
Ah.
I don't know what kind of game it is, but it's not saying on the page.
Hey, Sans. Ah! Rude.
I think we should play all of them. Yep. Also, we should wear costumes. Sounds good. What game is this? Is this Zelda?
Yeah.
But
Look, I'm Link.
I thought we were gonna finish Oracle of Seasons first.
Nope.
I don't know, punch on scene.
Rude.
What are some other animes?
I don't know.
Did
Are
you
you
ever
saying
watch?
old-timey animes? Or...
Did you ever watch Samurai Pizza Cats?
No. Is that real?
That's yeah. It's the very first anime I ever watched. It was on PBS at like fucking 7 a.m.
I think there was a reference to that in like Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. And I thought it was a joke.
What? How could you think that's a joke? What do you? I'm sorry. So you think Samurai Pizza Cats is a joke?
Yeah.
You realize you live in a universe where there's a show called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? So seem that weird? You know their favorite food is pizza too.
Is there a crossover?
I don't know. There ought to be, shouldn't there?
We usually have our microphone stands. It's pretty tall, so it's usually in the frame. I don't know why you're mentioning it. And Clark is always rude. He's a rude boy.
Why am I rude? What did I do?
You know what you did.
I don't know what I did, though. Samurai Pizza Cats. Oh, Samurai Pizza Cats isn't an anime. It's an American television adaptation of
Gotcha.
the anime series Kyoto Ninden Teiyandi.
You've been punked.
Wait, did they like take this anime and Power Rangers it? Because it looks like that's what they did. I think an American company saw this Japanese anime and was like, kids aren't gonna fucking get this unless there's pizza in it, like Ninja Turtles.
Ah. Ah! Welp. That's great.
The series is set in Edopolis, a mechanical city that fuses feudal Japanese culture with contemporary culture popularized by cybernetic anthropomorphic animaloids or animal androids.
So Neo Tokyo?
Yes.
Ba 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 da ba ba.
The city is notionally led by a shogun, Lele Tokugawa. But, as he is a doddering eccentric, the actual leadership is in the hands of his daughter, Tokugawa Tsusaki, and a council. The council is headed by the ambitious Prime Minister. Oh, excuse me. I got like something.
Oh no. How will I know about Neo Old Tokyo?
The council is headed by ambitious Prime Minister
Kitsunezuka Kun no Kami.
Yeah.
A fox,
No. Ow.
who is
Rude.
constantly plots to overthrow the shogun, and with the help of his trusted advisor, Karasu, Genarisai, and Karamaru, the leader of an army of ninja crows. Yeah. Unknown to the Prime Minister, Council Member Inuyami Wanko no Kami, the commander of the Palace Guard, learns of his designs on leadership, but is unable to prosecute him for treason because of the plausible deniability. Instead, Inuyami enlists the services of Yataro, Kururun, and Tsukashi, cat ninjas, who work in the city's pizzeria. Oh, they do actually work in a pizzeria. Alright, that's cool. That's chill. At least I wasn't lied to that much as a child.
I feel like this sounds like if Maya and Pearl made their own Steel Samurai spinoff.
That does sound like what
This
that
would be
like.
that show. I don't like any of these
Well,
courses.
I mean, let's be honest here. It'd be called Samurai Burger Cats.
That's true.
Oh god.
What are some other not anime shows that feel like anime or trying
Teen
to be
Titans.
anime? Yeah, definitely Teen Titans.
Teen Titans Go.
I don't remember, what was it called? Hi Puffy
Amiyumi?
Amiyumi? Was that an actual anime,
I
or
don't
was
think that was an actual anime.
just trying to be anime?
I believe that was not actually an anime. I will double check.
A more recent show that it's not really trying to be anime, but it's pretty good and definitely takes a lot from anime is Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. It's definitely more like aimed at kids, so it's got that sort of typical Monster of the Week, not super sophisticated plot or anything, but it's fun. It's a fun show, and it's sort of like if you took a typical magical girl anime, like Sailor Moon type of thing, but instead of a group of middle school girls, it's a duo of superheroes. It's actually pretty cool. Got a background because it's like co-produced with animation studios in Japan, Korea, and France, which is kind of neat. You can definitely see the influences of all three cultures in it.
I hope Yami is a Greek American.
Ah,
Another American not anime is Super Milk Chan.
what?
What?
What is that?
Oh, maybe it isn't. Maybe it is indeed not American. I thought for sure it was American. Nope. Super Milk Chan is Japanese.
Man, I almost never run into those guys. I don't know what my problem is today. But yeah, if you're ever in the mood for like just a kind of fun little show, Miraculous is really good. And it's actually, I've watched it in Korean, French, and English. And I didn't really like the Korean dub, but I'm not sure if the French is the original or not. I want to say it is, but I'm not for sure. But the French and the English versions were both pretty good. The English dub actually wasn't awful. Hey, I got first place. Somehow.
The show Super Milk Chan centers around the activities of milk,
a 5-year-old superhero who may or may not actually have any powers and can do very little besides making popular culture references. Its American slogan, as a result, became wholesome, probably not. Good for you, definitely. Yeah, I watched this, I think, when I was a teenager one time and didn't understand. I also didn't realize it was actually Japanese. I thought it was just making fun of anime.
Have you seen Miraculous, Greta? You like the Korean dub? That's cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the new second season of it. Because the last season, like I said, it's not like amazing or anything, but it's nice. It's a nice little show. And I really liked the end of the last season when they revealed how Marinette and Adrian met. It was really cute. I was like, aww. It was definitely one of the more like heartwarming things I'd seen around that time.
Have you ever seen the 3D animated cartoon of Donkey Kong?
I have not.
You're missing out. There's a musical number in every episode, at least one, if not more. And boy howdy, do those graphics look just real good. Did you ever, when you were a kid, watch any Transformers?
Not really.
Did you ever watch Beast Wars?
Nope.
Did you ever watch, when you were a kid, Reboot?
I don't think so.
What's like your context for like late 90s, early 2000s 3D television computer animation?
Not much.
Okay.
I don't think.
You really missed out on a sort of a golden age of animation. Of like just really uncanny valley sort of like monstrosities.
Until like middle school, the only times I could watch American cartoons was in the summer when I visited my grandparents in Tucson. Other than that, it was kind of just European cartoons that I sort of only semi-understood.
They have cartoons in Europe?
Amazing, huh? Who'd have thunk it?
Doesn't sound right. I think maybe you might have just watched like weirder American cartoons.
I mean, part of it was watching like the German dubs of like Chip and Dale and what was it with the DuckTales?
DuckTales. Scrooge and McDuck.
Yeah.
How do you say duck in German?
Oh. Do you say duck in German? It's been a while. I've lost a lot of my vocabulary.
Is it duckin? Duck Zeit?
Yeah. It's duck time.
Duck Geist?
Ah. Yeah, that's it.
Honkin' duck?
All of those words are correct.
I know.
There are just several ways to say duck.
That's the only word I learned in German class was duck. All the ways to say duck. Actually, you know, they did live in Duckburg.
Yeah, that's true.
That probably didn't change from the translation very much.
Ente? Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't
But
know.
I trust you.
How do you say Mario Kart in German?
I would imagine it's just Mario Kart.
Yeah, but in German.
Yeah. Mario Kart.
That's English. I was gonna say it in German. Well, I guess technically half of that's like Italian. Well, because Mario's like an Italian name. But how do you say it in German?
It'd probably be Mario Kart.
Wait.
Why would
do you
it be
not
different?
like understand? I'm not saying like translate German Mario Kart into English. I'm saying say Mario Kart in German.
Yeah. Mario Kart in German.
No, that's like English still. Like German sounds like has a lot of hard syllables and like too many syllables too. It should be like Mario and Kart and Zig.
Yeah, that's probably it. I don't think even the pronunciation would be very different, because cart is just cart. Plus, a lot of times with titles, they don't change shit, even if it's like it would be a different word. Yeah. In the German version, you get a vehicle that looks like an apple strudel.
Yeah. I want that.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I don't want a video game with an apple strudel. I just want an apple strudel.
Yeah, me too.
How similar are apple strudels in Germany to Pillsbury toaster strudels in America?
Not very.
Not very?
Nope.
Do you think that it's a bad ethics for them to call them toaster strudels?
Probably. Oh, hi, Greta.
Hi, Greta.
What are you doing all the way back here? Oh, that's right. Greta hates this course. Ah!
Why do you hate this course? I love this course.
Rude. Rude! Oop, whoops.
I don't know a lot about like German food, aside from like the sort of stuff you've talked about and sausages. But what's like the weirdest food that German people eat?
Weird how?
I don't know, like just something that like your average like American would find strange.
Probably Bubenspitze?
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
What is the blueberry space?
Bubenspitze is literally means little boy penis noodles.
But see, okay, listen. I know it sounds weird, but it's just little noodles.
Yeah, well that's what I was saying. It's like, what do you mean by weird?
I mean like weird as in the ingredients are strange. Like for example, like Americans are like weirded out by like the idea of chicken feet.
Yeah.
Because it's
that
like,
was a bad ending.
Yeah. Because you know most people don't eat chicken feet.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, is there anything in German that's like a thing that like most Americans don't eat, a part of an animal or like a fruit or vegetable?
I mean, if there is, there probably is, but I didn't really eat it then.
No.
Bratwurst isn't that weird.
No, wait.
It's just sausage.
Bratwurst is hella normal.
I guess you could argue maybe Spargel, but that's not so much weird as it just is. It's not really a thing other places do.
Yeah.
Like, especially in America. Because it's like white asparagus. It's so good. But again, it's not really weird.
Yeah. Like, maybe like kind of a weird thing, like a good example of a thing people aren't like totally used to in America that's a food that's like, is like escargot, right?
I love escargot.
Like, people are like snails, come on. But
you can get escargot in a lot of places in Germany.
Isn't escargot like mainly like from France though?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely French, but you can get it in a lot of German restaurants.
Sure.
It's pretty common.
Or
I would
like-
get it as an appetizer a lot.
Yeah. Or like that nasty like live food fish from Scandinavia. Like a thing where people are like, why do you cook my fish in soap, dog?
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Oh, why? Link, why did you turn left? Ah.
Or like in America, they've got Rocky Mountain oysters.
What's that?
You know what a Rocky Mountain oyster is?
Is it different from a regular oyster? I don't know.
Oh yes, it is quite different.
What is
Chelsea.
it?
Well, it's a special part of the bowl.
Oh. Oh dear.
It's a bull testicle.
Oh. Weird.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah. I guess in Scotland there's haggis.
Yeah, but that's a problem. I've gotten over the fact that people just mash up a bunch of animal parts and eat that.
Yeah.
Because it turns out that that's delicious.
Yeah. No.
Because I know in like a weird thing in German they make is Panhaus, which is just like mushed up rabbit parts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never ate that.
Yeah. Which I've never had it, but it's probably really fucking good.
Probably.
They also have blood sausage.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever have that?
I don't think so. I'm not really into sausage.
Okay.
Part of me is kind of sad because like two of the things Germany is most famous for are sausages and beer.
Mm-hmm. Two
And
of the best things just in general.
Yeah, and I like don't like either of those things, so it was kind of wasted on me.
Sad. I love both those things a whole lot.
Yeah. Well, you should go to Germany.
It's really far, and it's plane tickets cost like a bunch of money.
Yeah, I know. That's why I haven't been back. Greta says pickled wurst. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. People like pickled stuff, though. I hate... Well, no, that's not true.
I win.
I actually like pickled things, but I don't like pickles.
Mm.
Seems wrong, huh? I don't get it either. That guy spelled spaghetti wrong.
Eh.
Have you ever heard of Kazumaru?
I don't think so. What's that?
It's an illegal Italian cheese.
It sounds Japanese.
It does, doesn't it? But it's Italian and it's illegal to eat pretty much everywhere.
Why?
Because it's very bad for you.
Oh. Is it like super moldy or something?
It's like moldy, and also in order to be classified as it, it has to have maggots living in it.
Ugh.
Yeah, huh? Yeah, that's how I felt too. But people apparently go wild for that shit. But the maggots make you very ill.
Well, yeah. I don't get when people eat like bugs.
I've never eaten bugs, so I couldn't necessarily say I don't get it. But like viscerally, it sounds gross.
Yeah.
What if bugs is delicious? You eat snails.
Yeah, but that's different.
That's a bug.
Snails aren't bugs. They're not
Snails-
insects.
Yeah, but they're bugs.
I don't know if you consider them bugs. I don't think of them as bugs.
Crabs is bugs.
Crabs are like crustaceans.
Big old bugs. You know what a lobster looks like? Scorpion.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe
So-
scorpions just taste like little lobsters.
Lobsters are just mermaid scorpions.
Yeah. Mer scorpions.
I don't know, are scorpions like meaty on the inside? I always imagined them being just kind of gooey.
That's a good question.
I don't know.
Google what scorpions taste like. Google what scorpions taste like. They're very crunchy and taste similar to potato chips.
That's not what I expected.
However, they are much healthier than potato chips.
I would.
Well, there you
Imagine
have it.
so.
You want to snack on some? Hey, boys and girls at home, put down the Lays and pick up a healthy bag full of scorpions. Now with added protein is good for you.
I don't know if Leland's joined us. I don't think he has.
Oh, I
don't
saw
know.
him.
Did you?
Yeah,
What's his name?
Leland.
Was it?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see him.
Gosh, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Jeez. Or do you mean in the chat? There he is, right there. I see his little me, right next to Greta's.
I see it.
I used to.
Have you
What?
tried frog's legs?
I have. They're delicious.
I didn't like them. I wanted to try them for a really long time
Mm-hmm.
because I heard things about them.
Yeah.
But then when I ate them, it just kind of tasted like chicken, but with a nastier texture.
I thought they tasted kind of like duck wings. Because they reminded me a little bit of chicken wings, but kind of more savory, more flavorful. I thought they were really good. I had them at a really nice place though, which was probably helpful.
Yeah. I don't remember where I had them. Ah, rude. Have you had, I guess it's not really that weird, but have you had deer?
I've honestly never had any game.
I had deer at a restaurant a long time ago. It was in Germany, actually. I didn't really like it, but it could also be because of the sauce that they had on it.
I gotcha. And that's not true. I have had game, but just not deer or elk or venison or whatever. I've had buffalo.
Oh, yeah?
If that counts as game.
I've never had buffalo. How was it?
Have you had beef?
Yes.
It's very similar.
Ah.
I've had gator.
I've had gator.
Tastes kind of more like chicken.
Yeah, but chewy.
Yeah. I've had kangaroo.
Oh, I've never had that.
It's real good. Kangaroo is one of my favorite animals to eat. Turns out kangaroos are delicious.
Have you had snake?
I've not had snake.
Me neither. My dad's had snake. I think he said it was kind of like alligator. And kind of chewy.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you won. Well done.
I did.
Congratulations. Very proud of you.
Greta got a communication error. No. Some excuse, Greta.
Yeah, Greta.
4th place.
Oh, I'm sure. I didn't win the game because I got a communication error. I one time went to a restaurant that claimed to serve lion.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it was lion just simply because of, like, how and where and why.
Yeah.
But if it was, pretty good animal.
Hmm.
I think it might have probably just been, like, either
Ugh.
antelope and beef or something.
Hmm.
I don't know. How are you supposed to confirm that sort of shit?
Yeah. Go in the back and demand to see the carcass of the lion.
Yeah, show me that lion meat. Show me that mane.
Thought of something, but now I forgot.
Have you ever eaten Goomba? Have you ever eaten fried, fresh, sauteed stuffed toad from Mario Toad?
Yes.
It's delicious. Oh, hell yeah, my favorite level.
Have you had Avelina?
You know, I haven't. I've had boar. I don't know if that's close enough, but I haven't had javelina.
Me neither. Ah, really?
I was once invited to go javelina hunting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I politely declined. It didn't sound like fun, and I don't know if I have the stomach for that sort of thing.
Yeah. Leland got communication error too.
Haha, Leland. Haha, you guys. Guess your internet just sucks.
Yeah.
Stupid viewers, stupid loyal viewer idiots.
Yeah. Dummies.
Stupid jerk idiot fans. Shut up. You guys are dumb. Go eat a butt, you wieners.
Oh. Greta bets that his internet's better than ours.
That's bollocks. That's a bullpucky.
Bullpucky.
We got the best internet in all of Glendale.
But Greta probably doesn't live in Glendale, so that doesn't really necessarily mean that it's better than his.
I don't give one half of one crap
No.
where Greta hails from. He can come from the tallest building in all of downtown Los Angeles and probably doesn't have half as good as internet as our premium, platinum, silver broadband, ultimate, final suplex hold internet. We just steal our internet from the Olive Garden on the street.
Shh! Don't tell them that!
Ah, damn it!
Ah! Rude.
In addition to getting free internet, we can also download pasta.
It's worth it.
No, it sucks.
Yeah,
We
you're
can
right.
download it, but
Olive Garden pasta.
we don't eat it. We use it to,
You just throw it at people we don't like.
yeah. Hi, C. Dewey.
Hi, C. Dooley.
Frick
Fuck off,
Danny.
Rosalina.
Hey, do you think that that player's name is actually Danny? Or do you think that they picked Rosalina and named themselves Danny because it was the closest they could get to being Daenerys Targaryen?
Yeah. Oh, I thought that was the last lap.
Oh yeah,
Oops.
Chelsea, second place. Don't get hit by a bunch of stuff suddenly and lose.
I'll try. Go! Ah!
Fourth place pretty good too. Well, fifth place pretty good. Well, sixth place pretty good too.
Oh, my mushrooms!
Well, eighth place pretty good too. Chelsea, what happened? You were all the way in second place, but that is an 8 that I see there on that screen. What Hey, could you break that one down for me? I'm a little bit lost.
You see, it's Mario Kart.
But Chelsea, Mario Kart is a very serious game for professionals.
Yeah. I'm just not MLG Pro.
It's like the Mario Party of racing games. And everyone knows Mario Party, very serious game
Yeah.
about partying.
Yeah. And it's always very fair.
Very fair.
What happened to Greta?
What do you mean what happened to Greta?
He's like not here.
In the room?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't see him in the last race either.
His very strong and good internet must not be working right
Yeah.
now.
Sujui's showing off his guns, I guess.
That's pretty cool. Some big guns. Go!
Ah.
It's okay, you're doing great. Hey, how come Sonic isn't in this game? Sonic gets to be in Smash Buttons, and he's in the Olympics with Mario every Olympics. But he doesn't get to be invited to kart racing? That seems kinda messed up. I thought we buried the hatchet with that blue hedgehog.
Does Sonic have any sort of racing game?
Yeah, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Kart Racing.
Seems like a step down when you can just run.
Well, they tried to make a Sonic racing game where everyone runs, and it was hot doo-doo, fire dumpster, whirlwind of shit.
Ah.
It was very bad and impossible to control well. Also, the colorful cast of Sonic gets kind of samey once you line them all up together. You're like, this is all the same anthropomorphic mammal with gigantic hands and feet and eyes. I mean, I don't know about that, C. Dewey.
Nope.
That sounds like maybe you're in perfect control of your life.
Did our piranha plants just eat each other?
Just like the Ouroboros piranha plant. Chelsea, who's your favorite Sonic character?
I don't really know a lot of them, but I guess of the ones I do know, Knuckles?
Knuckles?
I guess? I don't know. I don't really have any feelings for any of them, but his character design is cool, I guess. I don't know.
And out of all the Sonic characters, Chelsea, which have you drawn the most fan art of with you going on romantic getaway vacations?
Oh,
Ooh, you know what we should do? We should Google Chelsea the Hedgehog and see what comes up. It's my favorite game. Hell yeah. Second hit. Oh, nice, dog. This is some good fan art of your hedgehog. Hell yeah. I like your tasteful sweater and scarf.
It looks like if you crossed a hedgehog with Madoka Magica.
Yeah. Oh, this one comes with a bio. Nice.
Oh boy.
Name, Chelsea. Species, hedgehog. Age, 17. Date of birth, 9th of February. Sexualities, heterosexual. Likes, foods, being a princess. Someone to love, looking pretty. Shopping, her friends, being happy. Peace and harmony. Dislikes, evil, war, bad manners, being late, being barred, as in not the right kind of bored, being bored, like board game and bugs, powers, water, fire, earth, and ice.
So all the
now,
elements.
now wind, but water and ice.
Fuck airbending.
Personality, kind, gentle, funny, energetic, and patient.
Oh boy.
Favorite colors. Oh, it's a British.
Greta googled Clark the Hedgehog and gave you a link in the chat.
Pink and blue. Oh, I'll get to that in a minute. Forms, none. Weapons, none. Theme song, Owl City. When can I see you again? From Wreck-It Ralph. Hell yeah. Dang, Chelsea. Your hedgehog form is cool as fuck. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Oh, nice. Hell yeah, I'm a fucking badass. I'm like if Sephiroth had a baby with Sasuke.
Oh. The emo to rule them all.
I want to find a Clark the Hedgehog though with a cool profile like that. I want to know what my likes and dislikes are. I want to know if I like evil or hate it.
No! Bumping me off.
Oh shit, yeah, dog. Nailed it.
Oh boy.
Fucking jackpot, baby. Ow. Oh shit, I'm a baby. Clark, name Clark, age 6, species hedgehog. Personality, playful, cute, helpful, stubborn, and shy. When around others, that he don't know likes video games, animals, toys, candy, making friends, and his family dislikes villains, bullies, and the word no. I think this was made by like an actual baby. No, I don't know.
That shortcut didn't work.
Oh, this is my favorite game. Wait. Oh, obviously, the thing to do is to find Greta the Hedgehog.
It's your turn now, Greta.
Yeah, you're up on deck. This is just Amy Rose with a different haircut style. Oh.
What?
Dang, dude.
I hate Rainbow Road.
Can't find one with, like, a profile, though, which sucks a lot. Not even one. That's too bad.
No, my speed.
Wait, hold up. Yeah, hell yeah. Oh, that's a rat.
Greta wants you to give him what you found on Twitter.
On Twitter?
Yeah, like, send him a link on Twitter.
Oh, sure. I mean, like, there's a lot, but I'll show you the best one.
Do you put in Greta or Greta?
Oh, I put in Greta. Oh, it's Greta, isn't it? With a D. Sorry, I
don't know if you'll find anything for Greta, though.
I might.
One way to find out.
Search.
Speaking of, where are you, Greta? Are you not playing anymore? If you're not, that's fine. I'm just curious.
This is in fucking Italian. Dang, this Greta the Hedgehog IP is like saturated the market. Like, there isn't a lot of variety. It's mostly just this one drawing. Oh, here it's different now. What the fuck?
No pressure, Greta.
That's just a lot of coffee. Yeah, all the good stuff is found in Greta the Hedgehog.
Well, it's a more popular spelling.
Yeah.
So.
Nevertheless, I'll send you the good shit I found a minute ago. Let me just find that same picture. Hell yeah. Who else is in our chat? Oh, I should obviously look up Sam's the Hedgehog for some really good art.
Oh boy.
Hell yeah, nailed it. First hit. I mean, it's exactly what you think. It's actually not that interesting. Ooh, that one's pretty good though.
What? My phone's blowing up.
It's just Alright, that might be the worst one.
What?
The worst sentence that I've found.
What is it?
What's this?
I can't look right now.
Well then, I don't know how to. You want me to describe it to you? It's like a hedgehog with like Sans scary eye, but also wearing very tight clothes with like huge titties and a rainbow tail.
Oh. Oh boy.
Let's do Leland the Hedgehog.
There, it ain't too shabby.
These
Oh,
are-
Leland got first place.
Wow, well done, my good man. Leland, fans of Sonic the Hedgehog who are named Leland are not very creative.
Nice. It's actually Leland. All of it.
Like, they seem to be way more interested in backpacks.
Yeah, got his back. Leland says, "You got me." I can't make out what this emoji is, but he gave us an emoji. Man, Greta, you're in the 5,000s.
It just looks like a guilty face. Ain't no Leland the Hedgehog. How about that, huh?
Man. I took a moderate sip of that wine and now my ears are burning. Alcohol makes my ears hot.
It's a very loud wine. Who else is in chat? I wanna look.
Does that ever happen to you?
Gotten hot ears
Yeah,
because of wine?
because of alcohol.
Like general warmth, but never specifically my ears.
Yeah, my ears, ever since I was younger,
How young have you been drinking, Chelsea?
the legal age is different in Europe. Ah, rude. Rude!
Oh wait, I got it. Link the Hedgehog.
Somehow I feel it's gonna be the same kind of thing as Sans.
Yeah, well, you're fucking wrong. You couldn't be more wrong, Chelsea.
Oh boy.
I'll describe it to you.
Okay.
Imagine, like, Sonic,
Uh-huh.
but like a goth lady who is very sexy and also I don't think has a waist. Sort of just comes down to two triangles pointing at each other.
Okay.
Yeah, some of this art is just too good.
Yeah.
Here, Link the Hedgehog, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
First thing I thought of, too. I'm having a hard time thinking of other terrible things about the internet to dredge up. Does anyone have any suggestions?
Oh boy.
We already talked about Boku no Pico and the Sonic fandom. What else is there?
Are we talking just cringe?
I could look at like Persona 5 waifu wars.
Ship wars in general.
you go.
Rogue One says Tub Girl.
I mean, that's kind of like a one thing, though. It's like
says YouTube poop.
Okay, so to address Tub Girl, it's like, what am I supposed to say about that? It's essentially diarrhea. There, we've covered everything you need to know about Tub Girl. YouTube poop. That's a little bit more abstract to try and explain in the context of like the chat. Do you know what YouTube poop is?
No. Is it just shit on YouTube?
It's not shit on YouTube.
No.
I mean, not literal doo-doo. It's like people take videos of stuff like very memey shit like Shrek or Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons or the Zelda CDIs and like, you know, manipulate them with like video editing shit to make it so that it's like very surreal and strange. And also to make Link say, boy, I'm so hungry I could eat a whole dick or something very clever like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never even considered the possibility that Tub Girl fan fiction might exist. I'm gonna hold off on that because that might be a little too yucky. I don't know how in depth I can go into like scatological conversation topics just on stream very casually.
Gaston's ultimate quest for Taco Bell.
Is that a thing? Let's search for that. Okay. No, Google knew what I was talking about. It auto-completed it. Oh, this is a YouTube poop, isn't it? Probably, huh? Yeah, this is definitely a YouTube poop. Oh, it's musical YouTube poop. Yeah. I like look at that later, but I'm not gonna watch like a video on stream. It's not good content.
Famous. You mean creepypastas?
Oh yeah, I mean, you know what? There are some pretty bad creepypastas out there. There's some like good ones, but holy guacamole.
The only creepypasta I've ever actually read was the Majora's Mask one.
Oh yeah, the bend round one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
The oldest meme you can think of.
All Your Base is a pretty good one.
Maybe the Badger song flash thing. Nintendo Slash Fix.
That's a good one. I'm not 100% sure what you just sent me on Twitter, Greta. Did you find this or did you write this? I think you wrote this. Is this a song that I'm supposed to know from the radio?
Did Greta send you the entire script for B movie?
I will. Yeah, right. No, it's like some sort of very long post about Greta the Hedgehog.
Ah.
I'll read it. I think.
Okay.
Sure, and I'll try and interpret these hand sounds the best I can. All right. Oh my goodness.
See, Dewey, tell us your joke in the meanwhile.
I wish I could blow this up. Okay. Oh god. The entire history of Western music?
You're not drunk enough.
Yeah, I'll have to drink a whiskey. Oh, yeah, I have drank all my whiskey. I'll have to drink a vodka or something real quick.
We actually did intend to do a whole segment at one point called Drunk Music History with Clark. But that didn't happen.
Let me read this post by Greta real quick first, and then I'll go pour a drink or something. I'm not sure what tone to use with this. I'll just talk regular.
Do narrator voice.
Okay. Greta was a great hedgehog. She really great. And what a wonderful woman she is. What a wonderful woman. Isn't she something? She's really something, folks.
She's something, alright.
This is so weird. What is this? Who wrote this? Where did you find this?
Greta wrote it.
You didn't write this? Because... What? You didn't write this. This is weird as hell. She's really something, folks. People ask me how she's doing. I say, terrific. And to be honest, no one really is doing stories on this. Oh wait, is this supposed to be Donald Trump? Is that the joke? You keep saying terrific.
Greta says, Clark, don't read it, it's a trap.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is Donald Trump.
Now. Boo. What's he do his joke?
Oh, yeah, see, do tell your joke while I make a beverage.
I think he wrote it, maybe. He wrote something.
Oh.
But I didn't see it.
Okay. Did you hear about the guy who got arrested because he had a fetish for legal procedures? No, I didn't hear about that man, Chris Dewey. Please elaborate on this man who's been arrested.
Rude.
He got off on a technicality. Oh. Good one, my dude.
Wait, say the joke again?
Did you hear about the guy who got arrested because he had a fetish for legal proceedings? He got off on a technicality.
I get it.
Okay. Just one. I'm gonna pass in front of you to deal with it.
No! I'm doing so horribly because of you! There's a guy on here named Lil Bub.
Lil Bub.
Lil Bub.
I'm just gonna drink more of this wine, actually. Because it's here and it's open.
Just from the bottle?
Poured in a glass. Not an animal.
I mean, technically.
Technically
You're
I
not-
am, or I
you're-
am not.
You're not a plant.
You don't know that. Alright.
And now a preview to a segment we may or may not have one day. Drunk Music History with Clark.
Okay, a very short music history lesson about Western music history because it was requested by the chat. So, before Greeks there was no music, and we know this because we can't find any evidence of it. And then one day, a Greek guy, I think his wife died or something, and so he inscribed what we think are notes on her tombstone. And, I don't know, the song goes like something like, Bop. It sounds a lot like Here in My Car by Gary Newman. But it goes like, da 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 da, which kind of sounds like da da. It sounds like Here in My Car to me. I don't know. Just listen to it. I don't remember what it's called, so you can't listen to it. So just listen to Here in My Car by Gary Newman and imagine it's in Greek. So there was a lot of that, and then Pythagoras, he did a cool math about dividing a string into sections. He divided a string in half and into quarters, and he said, this is what octaves are, and we're gonna base all music on this. And everyone was really cool with that, because back in ancient Greece, people were really interested in ratios, I think. Because that's how they invented the golden ratio. So, I mean, that's really all we know. No, in music history, in the Western tradition, no one talks very much about Greek music history because there's not a lot of stuff about it. But they invented another thing that's really important, called the modes. There are 7 of them, but for pretty much all of history, people only cared about 6 of them. And that's Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, and Aeolian. And I think those were all named after places in Greece, except for Aeolian, which was named after garlic mayonnaise. So, after a while, sort of after Rome and Jesus and all that stuff, people became really interested in music from like a religious standpoint. People mostly wanted to make music that's about Jesus because it's all anybody talked about anymore. So during church services, people started singing songs about Jesus. Mm-hmm. But, it's the Bible and it's Christianity, and they decided there's not enough rules involved in music, so they invented some very strict rules about how you should sing about Jesus. For example, if you go up too many notes, that's not what Jesus likes, so you have to go down after a little bit. That's why, like, all chants you hear sound like ha 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 ha.
Explains so much.
Also, in general, people in medieval Christian choral music avoided a thing called a tritone, which is essentially when you divide an octave perfectly in half, it sounds very jarring. It's like da da da. That sounds really good. It's just, if I had an instrument, I could probably display it better.
Go get your cello.
No. Everyone says it's because it's like the ratio is like 666 and it's like the devil's interval. But that's stupid. Those people are stupid. It has nothing to do with that. It's only because it was hard to sing is why they avoided it.
Whelan says, this all sounds like what I learned in music history. Like, actually, but way more entertaining.
So, yeah, so for a while people were going around and doing that. Aside from singing about Jesus, also in medieval times there were a lot of like people singing about myths and legends. And they weren't chanting, they had not as much rules, and it was mostly, people didn't actually care a lot about the music part, or they did, but they cared a lot more because they wanted it to have a good beat so they could shake their ass to it. Like, people wrote a lot of jigs, which was very popular. And then Martin Luther happened, and Martin Luther said, singing about Jesus is wrong, and you shouldn't do it. Jesus wouldn't want you to sing about him, because Jesus hates music. So, and a lot of people, I guess, were like, hell yeah, I can get down on that. So a lot of Protestant religions, for a bit, didn't have any music associated with them. They kind of had very dry ceremonies where a guy would read from the Bible in English or whatever the sort of native vernacular was. And everyone would be like, that sounds great. Let's go read in silence about it. Maybe we can eat some dry bread afterwards. and people were way into that shit. And like the Catholics wanted to update their brand image, and they were like, maybe we should get rid of songs too, guys. What do you think about that? And they had a big meeting about it, and they were like, maybe we should. But then this lady composer named Hildegard de Bingham was like, but that's like all I do. That's my favorite thing, is to write music about Jesus. So she like wrote this very famous chant that was apparently just absolutely breathtaking and very beautiful. And all the Catholic dioceses were like, oh fuck, I was gonna make music illegal in church, but this song is just so great. So instead they didn't make it illegal, and it ended up paying in their favor, because it turns out all those Protestants were like, man, I really miss music. It sure is boring to go to church. So Protestants started making music too. And they were like, well, okay, we can have chants and all that good shit, but our chants can't be like flashy and have a lot of like really, hoity-toity shit. So a lot of very famous Protestant chants are very simple. One of the most famous Protestant chants is the old 75th, which goes like, ma ba 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 ba, and it's sang totally in unison. There's no like four-part harmony in it, because that's of the devil. Harmony is satanic, and unison is godly.
The name is harmony.
Yeah, and you know what else is like harmony? Fucking.
Ah.
And that's what the devil likes to do.
Oh. So
unison only, but I guess unison is kind of like, let's not think about that too much. So that, like, a lot of music before sort of the 17th century was mostly about Jesus. There was a little bit with like the jigs and the stuff, non-sacred music, and that started to get more and more popular. And another thing that was very important about the non-sacred music is that most of the sacred music was chants, and it was based around perfect intervals, because God loves stuff that's perfect. Whereas in jigs, they were more interested in like doing other kinds of intervals, and so they started working a lot with thirds, which is the most important nowadays interval in all of music, instead of perfect fourths and fifths. And so thanks to that hot dance craze of jigs going on in England and Ireland, we have good music and not just chants. So eventually people were like, hey, turns out music is just fun on its own without Jesus, and that became sort of a popular opinion. So people started experimenting with, what if we have music that's not in church, huh? So people started making music more and more flashy and more complicated, and it began this period in music called the Baroque period.
If it ain't Baroque, don't fix it.
You win. You did it. You found the joke.
Yeah.
Baroque means malformed pearl. I don't know. I never understood why that has anything to do with Baroque music, but what you need to take away from Baroque music is that, one, it's pretty it's like comparatively complicated to the music that came before it, and two, composers of that era thought of themselves more as like artisans rather than artists. Making a beautiful piece of music was a lot more similar to building a chair than it was to painting a painting. So, one of the hottest things to drop around that area was the organ. People loved the organ. It was the biggest instrument, and it was the best one because it was so big. If you had an organ in your estate, you were like the guy everyone wanted to hang out with. So there were a lot of people composing for organ. Composers such as Fuchs and Buxtehude, and a lot of other people. The other hot shit that happened around the beginning of the Baroque era was opera. Now, originally, there was a lot of commedia dell'arte, which, do you know what that is?
Yes.
And that was really popular, and people started putting a lot of like song and dance into that. And eventually one guy was like, hey, what if we did song and dance shows but not Commedia dell'arte? And everyone was like, fuck, what a good idea. So they started writing original stories. Some of them were about Jesus, though, so they weren't that original. One of the first very famous opera composers is a guy named Monteverdi. And he and his band of Italian misfits would go around the country putting on shows in their opera wagon about...
I think I might have learned a little bit about that when I was learning about Commedia dell'arte.
Ah. Okay.
It sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah. Monteverdi sort of started the Italian tradition of writing a lot of operas about people who wanted to fuck or wanted to die because they couldn't fuck. Some famous ones are La Coronation de Popea.
So like old-timey soap operas.
Like old-timey... If you ever watch any opera, you'll notice that these are just soap operas, but without any soap. So, yeah. So there was that. Meanwhile, back in sort of Jesus Organ land, there was a guy born. His name was Johann Sebastian Bach, and he didn't know it yet because he was a baby. But when he grew up, he was the hottest shit to ever hit fucking Brandenburg. So he was hired by like a sacred like university, like a Catholic school or something, to teach lots of stuff. I think he taught math and Latin and music, and he was also in charge of writing all of the sacred music for that Catholic school. So he wrote, like, in his lifetime, like 100 million songs or something like that. But you have to remember, writing music at this point is kind of like building a chair. So people thought more like, man, he builds a good chair, and he built a lot of them. He's also lesser known for having...
Ron Swanson.
A little bit, yeah. But unlike Ron Swanson, he had 26 children. I think that Bach's wife spent more of her adult life pregnant than not pregnant.
Ugh.
But anyway, so he wrote a lot of very famous sacred music. He wrote the Brandenburg Concerto. He wrote... Oh, this is also why he's important. So let me throw this at you. So, back in the medieval times and most of the Renaissance and part of the Baroque, people used something called even tuning or even temperament for stuff, which was a temperament based on Pythagoras' original like mathematics for the octaves. But I guess somebody along the line was all like, that shit sucks, because if you play octaves too far apart, they start sounding weird. I'm not into that anymore. So somebody came up with a tuning system called well temperament, and Bach was like, oh, hell yeah, that's my shit. And so he wrote a ton of music for well-tempered instruments, and people loved Bach so much, they're like, let's all just play well-tempered stuff now. A really famous well-tempered thing is his studies for the well-tempered clavier.
Gavin.
Yeah, exactly. One of the famous ones is the piano song that goes do 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 do. Amongst
So a Zelda dungeon.
Yeah, a Zelda dungeon essentially. He wrote a bunch of other stuff like he's very famous like he also was like kind of the hot king daddy shit of a new thing called fugues. And fugues were cool because like you write some music and then you write that music again but in a different key over the music you wrote, and everyone loved that. He wrote really famous fugues, like his most famous fugue is probably his Little Fugue in G minor, which everybody knows. It goes da 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 meow 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 meow, etc. And then you'll notice that theme just comes in again later in a different key. Anyway, Bach did a lot of shit that people were really into. Some other stuff that happened that wasn't Bach, though, is that this French guy named Lully invented the first orchestra by being like, hey, violin's pretty cool, what if there were 24? Lully's famous for stabbing himself in the foot and dying. Oh. Back then, conductors didn't conduct with a Harry Potter wand. They instead took a very large stick and smacked it against the ground to keep time. And he accidentally smacked it right into his foot. His foot got infected, and then he died.
Really?
Holy shit, dude. Wow. You got fucking owned so bad. Anyway, I don't want to take too much time, but that's kind of the Baroque era in a nutshell. Bach had a kid named Carl Philipp Emanuel Bach, who invented a new kind of music called Empfindlichkeit, which was like the hipster version of Baroque music, because he specifically only ever wanted to play it for his close, intimate friends, and never wanted to play it for a big audience. He also had another son named Hans Christian Andersen Bach, who helped pioneer the classical movement, which is what we're going to talk about next. After a lot of Baroque music, people were tired of really complicated music and wanted to go back to a music that was simple and easy. And, you know, composers of the era were happy to oblige. There were a lot of composers, but like the main ones were Haydn, who lived to be 92, and fuck, that one guy, Mozart. Bye-bye, Leland.
Bye, Leland. Thanks for playing.
Thanks for playing. So, Haydn was a German guy, and he was very religious, and he liked making music that was real simple, like kind of repetitive, and like really simple harmonic and melodic structures. He was really into that. He was like, I like simple music the best. He was sort of like a folk composer, but not really. And he served a nobleman for his whole life, and everyone loved him a lot. I don't know what to say about this guy. He wrote a lot of music about Jesus. Everyone liked him, and he liked everything. Mozart is the most famous composer of the classical era. He wrote a lot of like hot shit. He's really famous for his operas, of which he wrote a million bajillion. Everyone talks about how he wrote an opera and like a symphony when he was a baby, but if you listen to those, they suck a lot of dick.
Oh, it's a baby.
Yeah.
You can't expect a baby to write a good opera.
Everyone's like, what a prodigy, but then like turns out his operas and symphonies when he was a kid were bad. So he wrote like some of examples of his most famous opera. Let's talk about him. He had Le Nozze di Figaro, which was about the marriage of Figaro, which to synopsis it's, you know, there's a guy named Figaro, he's gonna get married, but there's a count, and the count made it the law that he gets to fuck Figaro's wife. And that's just the law, so eat shit, Figaro, you idiot. He wrote another one called Don Giovanni, which was like, if you care about the Tom Hulce movie, was about him sad about his dad, but it actually wasn't about that. He just wanted to write. Don Giovanni was an existing property, and he was like, I could make that into an opera. And he did. And it's really good. The main character gets dragged into hell at the end, which is a really big spectacle. He made an opera called Così fan tutti, which has not like a great way to translate that into English, but sort of like a non-literal but better way to translate it would be like, that's just what women are like. And you can imagine what that one's probably about. Also, it involves a scene where the main characters have to dress up as Turks, so it's one of the very first and best instances of blackface. If you like spend any time like really getting your hands wet with Mozart's operas, you'll notice that he's kind of a racist and a sexist. And also he loves... One thing that the Tom Hulce movie did get correct is that he does love poo-poo jokes. He's famous for writing a cantata called Leck mich im Arsch, which translates to lick me in the ass.
I mean, that's how you say kiss my ass in German.
Oh, okay. Then kiss my ass in German. Also, he had a brief emo period he called Sturm und Drang, where he wrote very, like, moody, intense symphonies. An example of that is the symphony in G minor, which goes, and I really enjoy trying to condense symphonies down to single lines of sung music. It goes... If you ever watch the Tom Hulce movie, it's the song that plays when Salieri's buddies find him trying to kill himself. Speaking of Salieri didn't give a shit about Mozart, turns out. And Mozart kind of hated Salieri because Salieri made way more money than he did. And Mozart didn't think that was fair because he thought his music was better. Which it was, but whatever. Salieri didn't give a shit. So also, Mozart was a Freemason, which means he was Illuminati. And he wrote a musical about the Illuminati called The Magic Flute.
Oh, yeah.
And that is also very sexist and racist. There's a character, the king of the Illuminati, called Zoroastro, who sings a song to his daughter about being an obedient woman. It's just real good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, see Don Giovanni. That's real good. It's probably my favorite Mozart opera. That's like, I guess, Mozart in a nutshell. He died really young when he was writing a Requiem, and people were like, ooh, he's writing a death mass when he died. Spooky. Salieri wasn't there, turns out. That was added for dramatic effect. But yeah, he died as a young child. Not a young child, he died as a 30-year-old, which is pretty young, but
yeah,
whatever. So that's Mozart, and I mean, like, there are other classical composers, but I'm not going to talk about them because I don't remember any of them. Oh, wait.
Do you know anything about Uhland?
Who?
Uhland.
Nope.
Okay. I just wondered because the village I grew up in,
yeah,
all the streets were named after composers. So there was Mozart Street, Beethoven Street.
Yeah.
I lived on Uhland Street, but I didn't know anything about Uhland.
Okay. I don't know anything about Uhland either. Yeah, there are probably other, like, classical composers, but I'm going to be really honest with you. During the classical era segment of music history was probably the segment I slept through the most classes in, so I really don't know that much about it besides the Mozart stuff. I think I failed that test. So let's talk about Beethoven, because he's the next main thing that happened. Beethoven was a...
The dog?
Yeah. The little dog. Beethoven Little Dog was born in the 18th century, and he was a very moody and temperamental little piece of shit. Beethoven loved music, and he wanted to become a master composer, and he was slated to teach under, or learn under Mozart. He was supposed to be one of Mozart's students. Mozart fucking died. So
I wouldn't consider it.
Yeah, what a dick. So instead he learned music studying under Haydn. And you know how I said everybody loves Haydn, he loves everything? Well, I fucking lied. Beethoven hated Haydn, but that's because Beethoven hated everything. I think Haydn didn't give a shit about Beethoven either, to be fair, but Beethoven disliked Haydn intensely.
Rude.
Beethoven started out as mostly a classical style composer, writing a lot of stuff that just sounded like Haydn's work. But after a while, he decided to develop his own style, which was a lot more dramatic. It was like he took sort of Mozart's emo stuff and was like, I could make an entire genre out of this. So another thing Beethoven really had a huge boner for was Napoleon, but sometimes not. He didn't have a boner for Napoleon. On one of his very most famous symphonies, the Symphonie Eroica, his third symphony, he dedicated it to Napoleon.
And then he crossed out and said, definitely not dedicated to Napoleon.
He was
Fuck
tsundere
that guy.
for Napoleon.
He was very tsundere for Napoleon. Yeah. I also...
Bullet Bill to 5th place!
But anyway, after a while, Beethoven got a lot of momentum and people started to really dig his shit. It was new, it was fresh, and it was dramatic. And he made a pretty decent living. He had servants. He went to the bar a lot and read the newspaper a lot and drank a lot of beer and coffee.
It took a village to raise me, so do we?
Eventually, Beethoven would meet another composer named Schubert. A lot of mystery and drama surrounds their meeting. Beethoven's butler insists that upon seeing the glory that is Beethoven, Schubert broke down into tears and ran away. But according to Schubert's diary, that fucking didn't happen, and that's bullshit. So yeah. So I don't know. It's hard to. Beethoven wrote a lot of shit. He wrote a lot of music. He start going deaf, and like around his 5th symphony was when he started going deaf. And a lot of his notes in his 5th symphony are like talking about, like, I'm going deaf. I should just fucking kill myself. But then he was like, well, but I should finish this symphony first. And like a lot of his symphonies are kind of like that. He's like, I'm going deaf. I wish I was dead, but I should probably finish this symphony. A lot of people say that his 9th symphony, which is Ode to Joy, which is like the theme to Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah.
It's like theme is so like loud and simplistic because he was the most deafest. But I don't know if that's 100% true. That sounds like a fake thing. Anyway, Beethoven died of syphilis because he had a lot of sex with prostitutes. Also a really cool thing that Beethoven did was he didn't have any children because he didn't actually have like a significant other at any point. He was sort of completely unlikable. So he tried to like adopt his nephew, and he really wanted his nephew to be his son. However, his nephew hated him. His nephew didn't want to be a composer, even though Beethoven really wanted him to be a composer. And the other thing is that he tried to get custody of his nephew forcibly by like saying that his sister-in-law was a prostitute, which he took to the courts. It was very shitty of him. Beethoven was a shitty dickhead.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's Beethoven. So by this point, we're talking about romantic music, and romantic music is characterized by like its drama. You know, it's more complicated than classic music, and the orchestras are generally pretty huge, and like the music is getting longer and longer and more involved. There's a lot of stuff to cover in the Romantic era, so I'll try and only talk about each thing for like one sentence.
Pretend it's this, like, history of the world.
Okay, I'll do that. So the next big guy was Schubert, and he wrote a lot of Lieder, which is really popular because it was just German songs, and Germans were like, hell yeah, I love songs. There was another guy named Schumann, who, in addition to writing a lot of Lieder, he wrote a magazine reviewing music, but also in this magazine he pretended to be not Schumann, but his other personas. He wrote this with his wife, and then he jumped off a bridge and killed himself. Also, opera was getting really big in Italy again, and someone made a sequel to Le Nozze, or a prequel actually, called The Barber of Seville, which is really famous because it has that one song that just says Figaro over and over again.
Figaro, 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 Figaro.
It was covered by Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
So that was a big deal. There are other couple Italian ones like, I don't know. I don't remember their names. But Italy was getting real into romantic music. Also, Britain musically had fallen off the face of the earth. Nobody gave a shit about English music for the longest time. So later on,
after Germany was like the hot shit in music for a very long time, but France decided to catch up and started writing their own operas. A really famous opera is by Bizet, Name of Carmen. That was a big deal. Everyone loved that. There's another one.
Oh no, it's Mirror.
Oh god. There's another French composer. I don't remember his name. But he wrote Symphonie Fantastique. Symphonie Fantastique is great because it was actually a marriage proposal to an Irish actress. He didn't propose in words because he couldn't speak Irish. So, anyway.
That's fun.
Symphonie Fantastique, by the way, is programmatic music, which was a thing that was very popular where the music was supposed to tell a story. Berlioz is the name of the guy. Berlioz wrote Symphonie Fantastique, and it's basically self-insert fan fiction about him doing a lot of opium and then killing himself. Because he couldn't be in love with this Irish actress. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, Russia was getting really hot with the music. The first big Russian name in classical music was Smetana, but nobody actually gives a shit about anything Smetana wrote. So instead, our first sort of like big name Russian composer is Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky is very famous for being the most depressed composer in the whole world, and rightfully so. Being gay in 19th century Russia probably sucked a lot. Anyway, he wrote the very famous 1812 Overture, which had cannons in it, which everybody fucking loved. Erstwhile in Fargo. Let's see, what else was going really well? Oh yeah, Poland had a new hot boy coming out, named Chopin. He wrote a lot of...
Why Link?
Why Link? Chopin wrote a lot of very famous piano concertos that were very soft. They were kind of like if he just looked at the keys instead of touching them. He was very self-important, and he was also sort of a germaphobe. He didn't like other people touching him or his piano. He was very great friends with another virtuosic piano composer named Franz Liszt, who was, I think, Hungarian. I don't really remember. Franz Liszt was very egotistical, and half of his music was about how great he was. So that's pretty good early romantic. Let's talk about late romantic. Late romantic is when shit really starts popping off everywhere. First of all, in Italy, fucking opera's going crazy. You have this guy, his name is Verdi, Giuseppe Verdi, or Joe Green if you live in English. He writes a bunch of crazy shit, mostly about insane women killing their lovers or throwing babies into fires, and other things like that. Or like, he wrote also Rent too, but it was called La Boheme because you know, he spoke Italian, and everyone knows La Boheme is Italian for rent. Another guy is Giacomo Puccini. Giacomo Puccini wrote very famous opera, Madame Butterfly, which is very racist about Japanese people. But also, it does sneak a little bit of like criticism for American imperialism, so a little bit of a mixed bag, I'd say.
Is Devil's Trail an opera? Or is that just a story?
What's Devil's Trail?
Devil's Trail? It's the... I'm trying to remember. It's like the story about... I think it's a violinist and composer. And he I'm trying to remember. I think it... What was it? Oops. Shit. Why, Link, did you go left?
It might be something, but I'm not aware of it.
It's something along the lines of where, like, God and the devil make a bet on this violinist guy about if he can make better, or do they? I know it gets to the point where, like, he makes a deal with the devil to make, like, the best like the best song ever to compose.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like so good that like the heaven loves it or whatever.
Dang.
It makes angels literally weep, that sort of thing. And but then something happens where like I don't remember if he like goes back on his deal or if it is the deal that he gets tricked. But oh no wait, I think I remember. I think he makes it so good that like the angels or God or somebody, like when he dies, they want him to come and like compose in heaven. But he's like so full of himself that he's like he thinks he's even better than that or something.
Yeah.
So like he makes a what was it? He makes a deal with the devil, and in the end, I'm forgetting a lot of details, but in the end, what happens is that I don't know if he gets reincarnated or just loses his memories or something, but he's like alive again, but he doesn't remember that he's the one who he like hears the song that he composed, the like really good one that everyone loves.
Yeah.
And he doesn't realize he himself wrote that. So he goes mad with the desire to write a better song. Again, not knowing that he's the one who wrote it in the first place. And because he can never write something better, he like commits suicide and goes to hell or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't recall ever hearing about an opera like that.
Yeah, I don't remember if it's just like a story or if it was actually an opera.
If you want to talk about operas about making deals with the devil, they made about 100 million operas about Faust.
Yeah.
Giacomo Puccini, though. Good shit. He also made the very first spaghetti western. He made La Fanciulla del West, which is an opera about cowboys. Which is actually my favorite opera that he ever did, and it's not anyone else's favorite. I'm just being a big old hipster. Let's talk about opera in Germany. Hey, you know who did a lot of opera in Germany?
Who?
That's right. The Wagner. Wagner's really famous because, one, he had a prince who was his patron, and his prince was a crazy person who floated around in a swimming pool all day and paid Wagner insane amounts of money to write operas. So much money that Wagner built an entire opera house just for his very own operas. Wagner wrote The Ring Cycle, which is just Lord of the Rings, but an opera. It takes 16 hours to perform, so usually people only perform parts of it at a time.
Yeah.
It's famous for having Ride of the Valkyries, which is, I think, about helicopters flying around in Vietnam.
Yeah. So do we send us something?
Violin Sonata in G minor by Tartini. Oh, it's a sonata. It's a work for solo violin by Giuseppe Tartini, who is a Baroque composer. I think this is a story, and someone made a piece of music based on it.
Makes sense.
Let's see. Oh yeah, so anyway, also, Wagner was a huge racist. He was a big old anti-Semite, which is why Hitler liked him so much. Also, if you were a Jewish composer who made anything before Wagner existed, he pretty much erased your legacy off the face of all of Germany. So, for example, for a while, Mendelssohn just didn't exist because Wagner was like, no, there are no Jewish German composers, and because he was so popular, everyone was like, okay, we agree. So, I mean, that's pretty much all you have to say about Wagner. I mean, he did a lot of... Oh, okay, one more thing. He was the first opera composer to write with, like, a very, very huge orchestra. Famously, he had, like, 7 tubas in his orchestra, which is why if you sing Wagner, you have to be able to sing unbelievably loud, which is why it's so rare to find an actual Wagnerian opera singer. But since he had so much money, he could afford to pay the most talented as much as he wanted and get like the best results. Basically, it's what happens when you have a budget of infinity francs.
Oops.
Anyway, if we go over to France real quick,
Just a quick jaunt.
just a quick jaunt over to France.
It's easy to get there from Germany.
Romantic music got kind of weird. People weren't so into it anymore. People wanted their shit to be weird and mysterious and like a big cloud. So they decided that they would make Debussy very popular, and all of his music sounds very ethereal and like slow and like very breathing. They also have Ravel, who did a lot of that, but actually Ravel's most famous piece is Bolero, which is nothing like French romantic music because it's very measured and just the same thing over and over again. The main joke of Ravel is that when he was writing Bolero, he was suffering from Alzheimer's disease, which is why the music is so repetitive. He just kept writing the same measure over and over. Now let's go to Russia. Russia went completely nuts. Russia had this group called the Five, which consists of 5 composers, but the only 2 anyone ever remembers anymore are Rimsky-Korsakov, who wrote the Symphony Scheherazade and also Flight of the Bumblebee, which is way stupider than Scheherazade and the one that people remember way better. Modest Mussorgsky was a huge fucking drunk who Rimsky-Korsakov hated a lot. He wrote Pictures at an Exhibition, which is an amazing piece of music, and who Rimsky-Korsakov tried to arrange and sell his arrangement, but also Ravel arranged Pictures at an Exhibition, and everyone likes Ravel's arrangement way better. And basically what I'm trying to say is Rimsky-Korsakov is music history's biggest piece of shit. He has a very widely studied book on orchestration, and you can tell just by reading it in the more tight translations that he wants to try and suck his own dick constantly. So that shit's really cool. Anyway, that's like kind of it for Romantic era. Oh wait, is there any more important Oh no, there's not really more important Romantic composers. So Romantic era is done. Then came the Modern era, which goes from like the 1900s until now. So we've been in it for quite a bit. And then finally, America bursts onto the scene with a classical music tradition with one of my favorite composers, Charles Ives. Charles Ives based his entire musical aesthetic on one time he heard 2 different marching bands playing at the same time, and he said, I could make a genre about this. A lot of his music is just 2 pieces of music playing at the same time, and he sort of like pioneered the style of modern music in America. Also, Charles Ives is famous for being the actual Ron Swanson of music. Charles Ives, 2 of his most famous quotes are this. One time, Charles Ives listened to Rachmaninoff's music, and he didn't like its soft and sort of sentimental style, so he forever called Rachmaninoff Sergei Not Man Enough. Also, after he was all done composing, Charles Ives won the Nobel Prize for music. He didn't attend the award ceremony, so a committee member went to his house to give it to him. When he got the prize, he refused it, and he said, prizes are for little boys, and I'm a full-grown man. Another very famous modern American composer is Aaron Copland, notably being very famous and classically American because he was a gay Jewish communist. He wrote, let's see, the football theme song. Oh, that probably doesn't mean anything to you.
No.
He wrote a song called Symphony for the Common Man, which goes like ba 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 ba. All of his music is very like triumphant and heroic and sort of like the picture of America, but he was blacklisted by McCarthyism for being a commie.
C. Dewey says, what about
Dvorak. I'm getting to him. I'm gonna get back to Russia in a minute, and Eastern Europe, because Dvorak isn't Russian. I'm doing America right now. I'm going by country, not by time. So America's pretty fucked up. After that, we get a very famous guy named John Cage. John Cage is famous for writing 433, which is just 4 minutes and 33 seconds of no music. He wrote a lot of other stuff, which was just recordings of him reading from old Taoist, like, holy scriptures and rolling dice and picking pages at random to read and knocking radios off of tables into pools of water. And he said, that's music, that's my music, baby. Anyway, after that, a big part of American music was minimalism. Minimalism is a repetitive form of music. It's a repetitive form of music. It's very repetitious. The same thing happens over and over again. If you haven't heard minimalism before, it's really hard to describe how repetitive it is. Just listen to Philip Glass and you'll get it. And then really, to sort of wrap things up for America, I guess sort of the last big one was John Adams, famous minimalist composer. He wrote what were called the CNN operas, which were operas based on current events rather than Holy Scripture or mythology or lovers who kill each other and themselves. He wrote Nixon in China, which was an opera about when Nixon went to China for diplomatic relations. He also wrote an opera called The Death of Klinghoffer, which was about a Palestinian hijacking of an Israeli cruise ship. That opera doesn't get performed very much because the sort of Anti-Defamation League gets very upset whenever it gets performed. Mostly because it doesn't portray Palestinian terrorists as total monsters. Let's see. Okay, let's find a different country to talk about. Germany's an easy one. So, Germany, not a lot of people talk about their classical music for a minute because for a while, most of their classical music was like, do you like Nazis? Yes. Great job. No? Get out of my country. However, they did have Kurt Weill and Bertolt Brecht, which made their most famous work the Threepenny Opera, which is just a retelling of an old English opera, but with a lot more curse words and murder and rapes. It was thought of as degenerate music, and basically Hitler hated that shit. Hitler really liked Carmina Burana though, so whatever. Let's go to France. France got really weird during the modern era. Oh wait, no, hold on, I glossed over the important part of German classical music. Also, Germans invented serialism, which is where they decided that you could take 12 notes and arrange them in a very specific order, and that counted as music. It's really hard to listen to because it's like just, it sounds like random notes. What makes it amazing though is it's not actually random notes, but really meticulously arranged notes in an order that doesn't sound like anything good. Okay. France. France got really weird. The main guy in France at the time was, God, what the fuck is that guy's name? He made that stupid song that everyone loves. Eric Satie. Eric Satie made a really famous piece called Non me PD, which it goes like do 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 do. But he didn't like that piece very much because it was too normal. He was a bigger fan of his absurd works like Ballet for Desiccated Embryos. He also collected umbrellas, which he left strewn about his apartment, which didn't have any furniture in it. He also ended up funding a further French project called Les Six, which were 6 French composers. But the only one anyone ever remembers is Francis Poulenc, who wrote a lot of symphonies that were inspired by jazz music.
I'm enjoying listening to you talk about this, but are you gonna be done soon? Because I'm getting a little tired of playing.
Oh, I can just stop. I'm not really here for any end game.
I didn't know if you had a certain time period.
No, I was
go
just
up to.
trying to remember things about classical music.
Okay.
I don't know. Here's the end of classical music. Everything gets really weird. And mainly a guy named Stravinsky writes The Rite of Spring, and everyone loves it. Now all music is The Rite of Spring. The end.
What's The Rite of Spring?
Have you ever seen Fantasia?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Okay, you know the song that plays during the dinosaur part where they all get murdered by asteroids?
No.
Okay, well that's The Rite of Spring.
Oh, okay.
Oh, also Dvorak made a song about America because he went there one time and it was great. The end.
We'll just have to do Drunk History with Clark sometime.
Yeah, these stories would probably
Where
be...
you can just talk about like one composer for a little bit.
Yeah. These stories would probably be better if, like, I thought about them more than not at all.
I had fun. I don't even like history.
Nobody likes history. I like history.
Ah. Rude. Ah! Why do you do this to me?
I'm really excited for this stream to be over. Not like because of mean reasons, just because I'm really excited for the air conditioning to come on.
Yeah, like I was kind of thinking about ending it like half an hour ago, but then we started talking about music history and I wanted to hear more.
Yeah.
But I'm also getting like tired and hot.
I'm getting tired and sweaty. Well, not tired, just sweaty. I'm getting drunk and sweaty. Is that cool?
I think that's the opposite of cool if you're hot.
That's true.
Pretty sure that's how temperature works. Bill Nye told me.
Bill Nye didn't tell me, but I learned it when Bill Nye touched my hand.
What subject can I go on about? Nerdy subjects like anime or fandom culture, probably.
Yeah, Chelsea can talk a lot about her favorite animes.
Or like comic books or Harry Potter.
Yeah, Chelsea can go on for a really long time about Young Justice. I don't even know what Young Justice is about, but I know
I'll do
everything
one
about
last
Young Justice.
one if hopefully it's Excite Bike.
Looks like people are into Excite Bike.
They're excited to bike.
You did it.
Yeah. I'm just saying how it is.
You just say it like it is.
Yeah.
Just like Donald Trump.
I'm more into Marvel. Like I don't hate DC, but I just like the characters more. When I was younger, I preferred DC, but that was mainly because I didn't know that much about Marvel, except for like Spider-Man, because everyone knows Spider-Man.
Who's Spider-Man?
Well, you see.
Is that a sports team?
Yeah. It's the Wisconsin
Utah Spider-Mans?
But nowadays, I'm more into Marvel. I do want to go see Wonder Woman, though. Like, DC has been very disappointing in their movies, but I've heard good things about Wonder Woman, and she's one of the few characters I do still care about in the DC universe. So I do want to go see it.
Do you think if I start a petition to change the Washington Redskins to the Washington Spider-Mans, it'll gain any traction?
You should change it to the Washington Gun Takers.
Can you explain that joke to me? Because I don't know if I get it.
It's Kimmy Schmidt.
Oh.
One of the jokes in Kimmy Schmidt is that the character who's like who is introduced as like the rich white lady.
Yeah.
Turns out she's actually, I don't remember if she's Sioux or what, but she's Native American.
Oh, okay.
She just looks white. And she ends up, in like the second season, she ends up dating this guy. And at first she's just doing it to get his money, but then she ends up actually falling in love with him. But she is like, once she finds out that she's in love with him, she thinks there's not really a problem anymore. But then she finds out his family owns the Redskins. So in the new season, like, her mission is to try to get them to change their name. And the way she ends up doing it is saying like, she sees like a bunch of protesters who bought the merchandise purely to like burn it and get rid of it and stuff. And she like convinces the board that like, you want people to hate you, not love you. A fan will buy your jersey once and keep it forever, but someone who hates you will buy 50 jerseys just to kill, like, shoot them with bullets and stuff. And so they're like, what could we be that will make everyone hate us? And then she suggests the Washington gun takers, and one of the guys is like, you can't take my guns from me! I would buy a jersey just to shoot it full of holes! And then he's like, so they changed their name to the Washington gun takers.
That'd be a good name for a sports team.
I did actually watch Young Justice. I thought it was alright. It was definitely better than some of the more recent DC stuff. It was a pity they canceled it. I don't know if they brought it back. Like, I thought I heard something about getting renewed, but I don't know. Anyway, that's it for today.
No more Mario Kart.
We're gonna go turn on the air conditioning, because it's really hot in here now. Bye!